Tell me something good. Tell me, tell me that you like it. Yeah. If you were or are a person raised in the 80s and 90s, you know that song. If you don't know the title, you know who made it. The great, beautiful Shaka Khan. You know this song. I feel good, baby, I feel good all over. You and I have what others dream about. We finally worked it out. You know that song. And you know who made that song. The beautiful Stephanie Mills. If you are a little more seasoned and going even up into that 80s, 90s realm, because this person's music is so timeless, you know I'm leaving on that midnight train to Georgia. Gladys Knight and the Pips, and later Gladys Knight made that song. If you are a part of the 80s, 90s clan, and even a little earlier, you know this song. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? And who made it? At the time, I think it was Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, I believe was the name of her group. But Patti LaBelle, you equate with that song, Lady Marmalade. So when I saw that Stephanie Mills, Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, and the great Gladys Knight were going to be on the same stage in one evening, I had to do everything I could to go and see this concert. Not just because the music is great, but because as a leader, I celebrate that these women have stood the test of time. And I marveled at what really are the ingredients that go into the mix of people, celebrities, even laymen like us, those ingredients. What are those ingredients that cause us or help us to establish and maintain longevity and lead well? And what I found, and what as I thought through the laymen and thought through the celebrities, the makeup is critically the same. And that's why I wanted to spend a little time talking about how these women sing like a lady and lead like queens, but how we can, as leaders, lead like kings and queens and sing our own song, whatever that is in the work realm, because we can do it too. We can have consistency. We can have longevity. We can be those people who years down the road, and even as I think about it, I'm thinking about my old pastor at the Apostolic Church of God in Chicago. He preached until I believe he was like 87 years old, and he went strong almost until he retired from preaching. So how do you keep it fresh? As I've heard, Pastor TD Jakes say in the past, like, how do you keep it fresh? How do you become that person who stays in position to always be respected as a leader, to be called on, to still be someone who is revered by the constituents that you have? I also recently did a program for Dr. Herbert Harris, who is a respected author, speaker, minister in the southern eastern region of the United States, and probably throughout the world. But I particularly know that he lives in the southeastern region of the United States, and he's 81 years old. We still do a call every week. His success mentorship program happens every Saturday. He is on that call even through the holidays. And I even mentioned it when I did a program for him a week ago now, because Dr. Herbert Harris has that factor too, that it factor that keeps him fresh, that keeps him revered. This is Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and it's a Zoom call, and that call has a good number of people. I think they said last week we went up to about 40 people. And for those people who know we're in business, that's not easy to do when you're talking about getting people to come and listen to how to be successful every weekend. We do it every Saturday. And again, it's an early morning meeting. But again, he has some of the ingredients that I'm going to talk about that help you stay successful and help you stay fresh and help you maintain longevity and success over an extended period of time. So here are some of the things that I witnessed when I really thought about it, and as I'm sitting there watching Stephanie, Patty, Shaka, and Gladys Knight. And for those who don't know, before I get into that, I am Dawn Marie Morris. I'm curator and host of the Leaders Lounge and also owner of the World Class Training Institute, where we maximize leadership. We maximize human capital, I should say, through the development and the delivery of leadership and professional development training programs. I want to say that again. I am host and curator of the Leaders Lounge and the owner of the World Class Training Institute, where we maximize human capital. And we do that through the delivery of leadership and professional development training programs. So everything to help you be successful as leaders, as professionals in the workplace, are in our wheelhouse. And you can go to our website, worldclasstraining.net, to check out all of our programs. And if you are interested in anything, please connect to us. There is a form at the bottom. You just fill that out, and we will be in contact with you to discuss bringing our programs to your organization. Also, you see scrolling across the bottom of the screen, Unpacking Agape, the 7 Languages of Intentional Leadership, which is my latest book. Language is best demonstrated through behavior. You can tell me you love me, but if you don't show me, I will never know, right? And so when we're talking about the languages of servant leadership, it's the behaviors that a servant leader demonstrates in order to lead their teams well, lead his or her team well, I should say. So pick up that book, Unpacking Agape. That is scrolling across the bottom of the screen at worldclasstraining.net/agape. Now, back to those ingredients that the queens demonstrated, and that, again, some other people who I know who have been in business or running their in leadership for a long time demonstrate. So that first one, I think I kind of slipped it out as I was talking a few moments ago, and that is consistency. So in order to really be successful, you've got to establish consistency. And when I spoke last week for Dr. Herbert Harris, I shared Denzel Washington's speech for the NAACP award, for an NAACP award that he had won, where he said, without commitment, you will never start. And without consistency, you will never finish. And so when we're looking at people like Stephanie, Patty, Shaka, and Gladys Knight, we know they had commitment because they never would have started on their journey. But what we also have to recognize and realize, in order to maintain the crowd levels that they still maintain, and Gladys Knight is the oldest at 81 years old. uh, you have got to deliver consistently. And what do you have to deliver consistently? You've got to deliver excellence consistently. When we're listening to The Best Thing That Ever Happened to Me by Gladys Knight, when we're listening to Home by Stephanie Mills, we are looking for them to deliver those songs at an excellent level consistently. So, as we're thinking about how we are showing up at work and how we are showing up to our families, what are we delivering consistently? I should not have to figure out what bag you're coming out of. I should not have to be on edge thinking, is this going to be the day where you're going to be happy? Or is this the day where you're going to be growling? Is this the day where you're going to show up the way you say you're going to show up on time? Or is this the day where you're going to be late, or worse yet, not show up at all? Is this the day where you're going to meet the deadlines the way you say you have committed to? Or is this the day or the week where you're not going to deliver the deadlines, and I have to go behind you and get you to produce what you're supposed to produce? Those people who maintain longevity, and those people who are able to maintain a leadership position for a long time, begin with commitment and follow through with consistency. And consistency of what? Excellence. So that's number one. I have seen Patti LaBelle a few times. I've seen Stephanie Mills twice. I've seen Gladys Knight a couple of times. And I can tell you, they never disappoint. They never disappoint. And Gladys is getting more mature. Again, she's the oldest of them, but she still brought the undergirdments, if that's the right word, or the support systems that she needed in order to still deliver an excellent performance. Some of the songs she didn't sing in their entirety, but each one still had the sound quality and the energy that we expect when we're watching Gladys Knight. Consistency is the first thing. The second thing that you have to do if you are going to be a leader for a long time is you have to be efficient. You have to be efficient. You cannot expect to lead a team for a long time and you are not operating with a high level of efficiency. You can't have shows that start late when you are operating at a high level and you want to maintain longevity. Why? Because people who pay a lot of money, and even if they don't, if they're paying to see you, they want you to be on time. In fact, you need to be early. When that show went on I went to Chicago to see the show. That show operated crisply and concisely. When I am delivering a training program, I make sure that that program runs crisply and concisely. If you watched my last last week's podcast, when I delivered the program for Dr. Herbert Harris, he even mentioned how he loves trainers who have a planned program with a set beginning and end. My training programs have to be that way. Before I delivered it, I made sure they had my bio. And this is not something that consistently happens on that program, but I knew that as a speaker, if I'm going before any crowd, I have to deliver it at the level that speaks to being a world-class facilitator. So I had to be on early. I had to make sure that all the AV was working. I had to make sure that it was delivered in a concise, energetic manner that was in line with my brand. So as leaders, we have to think about not only being consistent, but we have to be efficient. Consistency and efficiency help to create longevity. Third thing, you want to be set in your niche, and you want to achieve a high level of knowledge and expertise in your niche. When we're talking about the queens, it's clear, and I don't think I even have to prove that up, that each one of them has achieved a level of excellence in their niche. And then what you have to do is you have to sprinkle in the new. Sprinkle the new. Solid foundation, sprinkled with the new. Consistency, efficiency leads to success. What do I mean by that? So these are mature ladies. They've been around a long time. As they have grown, they still stay consistent with the things that have made them successful. But then you see in their show, they have sprinkled in some of the elements of the technical world so that they can still engage newer audiences. Patti LaBelle even had them doing Where Them Fans At during her show as she went to change. So you have to keep your eyes and ears open to the trends, but you don't want to follow trends that are not in line with you being authentic to who you are as a leader and as a professional. If it doesn't fit for you, you don't have to do it. But if it does fit and if it can enhance your brand and if it can enhance your delivery, you should go ahead and execute to that. I'll give you a quick example from me. So everybody knows AI is everywhere and everybody's saying you got to have AI in order to be successful. And you do. I mean, I use AI now for brainstorming. If I'm thinking about certain ideas or I may need a title for something, I'll go to AI. I also used it for some video editing that I had to do for a training class that I did recently. And it went over very well. It wasn't a perfect science, but as Mark Cuban says, do not let perfection be the enemy of the good. So don't let the fact that you don't know it all stop you from even trying it, because then you're missing the mark and you're not going to keep the newer generations engaged as you grow and as you mature. So that's the third thing. You want to stay committed and achieve expertise in your niche and then sprinkle it with some new. And the last thing that I want to share with you all, when you're thinking about how to lead like a queen, or for men, how to lead like a king, and really thinking about that idea and that thought of longevity as you're growing, take care of you. Take care of you. If you don't take care of your temple, then you'll never be able to serve a long time. It means getting the rest that you need. It means getting the exercise that you need. It means eating a proper diet. It means controlling, as my previous pastor would say, your ear gate and your eye gate. Control the things that you're reading. Control the things that you're listening to. If things that are coming into your ear gate and eye gate are taking you away from staying focused on what you need in order to achieve success, you need to remove it from your space. You have to remove it from your space, because otherwise it's going to stunt your growth and stop you from being able to ultimately achieve a long term level of success. So take care of you. As my favorite, one of my favorite motivational speakers says, you want to stay at the front of your own line. Stay at the front of your own line. What does that mean? That means that a lot of people can ask you for a lot of things, and they end up putting things on your plate, and it can seem like, oh, that I can do that. It'll only take 5 minutes, or oh, they just need me to help them out this one time. Is this in line though with where you are supposed to go? And it doesn't mean that you don't help people and that you don't extend yourselves, but you've got to make sure that you're staying true first to what you need and what you have to deliver in order to be successful. And sometimes our time can get dribbled away by people taking a minute here, 5 minutes here, an hour here. And I always share when I teach my time management class that you have raw time and then you have the duration, right? So the raw time is the time, the hour, it's the 15 minutes, it's the 20 minutes. The duration is the planning to get there, it's the settling down afterwards, it's the processing whatever has happened, it's the traffic. If somebody's asked me to do something that's only going to take an hour, but it's going to take me another 15-20 minutes to get there. So when we're thinking about how we're using our time and how we're using our days, we have to think not just in terms of raw time, but we have to think in terms of duration. And if duration does not put us in the best position to complete what we need to complete and stay focused on what we need to stay focused on, the answer has to be no. And I have adopted as my mantra, if it's not 100% yes, the answer has to be no. If it's not 100% yes, the answer has to be no. If I'm thinking, oh, maybe, well, possibly, that sounds good, the answer has to be no. Because there's something about it that's not 100% in line with who I want to be, who I'm planning to be, and what is on my day, week, month, life's agenda. And I believe I can credit Oprah Winfrey with that thought process. If it's not 100% yes, it has to be a no. So when we're thinking about singing like a lady, leading like a queen, or singing like a man, leading like a king, we want to keep these things in mind. Number one, as Denzel said, without commitment, you never start, but without consistency, you will never finish. Without commitment, you never start. Without consistency, you never finish. If you want to be a king or a queen, or someone who is a long-term person of success, you have got to develop a consistency of excellence. Number two, you have got to make sure that you are efficient in how you move. Timing is everything. You want to be on time and you want to move in the right time. Number three, you want to make sure that you have a solid niche and you want to sprinkle it with the new. Solid niche and you want to sprinkle it with the new. And the fourth thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you take care of you. Take care of you before you take care of anyone else. And if you look at each one of those ladies, I know some of them have had some health challenges. They all looked amazing. Again, Miss Gladys is 81 years old. And while she was thinner, she still looked well. And we know we can't stay here forever. But while we're here, we want to bring our best selves to the stage, to the workplace, to the store if we're working in a retail place, to the church if we're working in the church, to the airport if we're working in the airport, wherever we are. We want to bring our best selves. And that's no matter the age. No matter the age, you want to make sure that you bring your best self. Show up and show out. And again, you don't have to be the super best dressed. You don't have to be the super magnetic person, but you want to be the best you can be each and every day. And if you do that, I can guarantee you, you will sing your song your way like a lady or a man, and you will lead your way like a king or a queen. So, hail to these queens. I salute you all. Thank you all for an amazing concert. I was able to bring my friends from years gone by to this concert with me. And when I say bring, we all went together, not necessarily that I paid for them, because I didn't pay for them, but they did all come, and because I wanted to do it in Chicago, even though I live here in Nashville, because you know, we grew up listening to that music, even though, like I said, Miss Gladys is 81. Still, my dad was a DJ, so he would play that kind of music all the time, and Lady Marmalade, all of those kind of Marmalade, I think, however you say it. All of those songs. So yeah, it was just an amazing experience. So great to see them, and again, to celebrate the excellence, the consistent excellence of these women leaders in music. Yeah, that's all I got. So pick up a copy of World Unpacking Agape, the 7 languages of intentional leadership at worldclasstraining.net/agape. Subscribe to the Leaders Lounge right now. We are at 96 subscribers. We want to at least get to 100 before the year is out. So make sure that you please go ahead and subscribe to the Leaders Lounge. Remember that we are here to be a soft place to land for leaders, to just get some great information on how you can be your best selves as you are leading yourself and as you are leading others. Because here at the Leaders Lounge and at the World Class Training Institute, it is our goal to help you be your absolute best. And always remember that when you are better, we are absolutely better. Take care.